give you an idea of how big this box is. It is 66 inches long and 32 inches high. And let's see how wide it is. It's about 11 inches wide. So it's got the Boost 110 hub, 15mm axle. .203mm rotors. Maxxis Recon Plus. 27.5 by 2.8. So here are some of the other parts that came with it. A set of Welgo pedals. And these two boxes hold chargers. I ordered an extra charger. So this is a 5 amp charger. And I ordered lots of spare rear derailleur hangers. I broke a few of them in the last couple of years, so just wanted to make sure I have plenty. Because when time comes to look for them, I'm afraid I won't be able to find them anywhere. So these, they actually made themselves with their CNC machine. They told me that the factory that normally supplies their parts didn't get the order to them yet, so they made them for me. So that's pretty cool. So here is an extra kickstand, which I like a lot. It's a really tough, robust. I know some people don't like to have kickstands on their mountain bikes, but I like them. And I ordered an extra headset. This one seems pretty nice, actually. It's got a nice rubber seal on the top assembly. And it uses these cartridge bearings. And it looks like I did have time to put it together real quick. So here is a brief overview of it. I opted for the Lyric fork. It originally comes with a Yari. This is a 160 millimeter travel fork. The rear travels 150 millimeters. We have a Bafang Ultra motor. What's special to me about it is that it has a torque sensor inside. So the pedals are race face. I put these on, they're mine. So you probably noticed earlier that I showed you it comes with Welgo pedals, but I like these a lot, so I decided to just put them on. So yeah, it looks like there's a minor scratch here. I noticed a little dent scratch here as well. I don't think it's... Well, it could have been shipping damage. Maybe the wheel was rubbing up against it. But that's okay. Nothing a little touch-up paint can't handle. Kind of wish that logo wasn't orange, but that's okay. A couple things to note here regarding the rocker arm is that it doesn't look like there are any bearings inside of any ball bearings in here or here. Typically, mountain bikes have ball bearings in that location. However, on the lower part, there are ball bearings here and here. We got quad piston Magura brakes. Maxxis Recon Plus, 27.5 by 2.8 inch. We have a Shimano XT rear derailleur. And the cassette that they chose is an 11 to 4611 speed. I was originally worried about damaging the chainring on rock strikes, but this is really, really thick. So I'm not as worried about it as much. And there's also plenty of ground clearance. I have a BBS HD and also a Cyclone 3000. Cyclone 3000, I don't have issues with its ground clearance, but the BBS HD I do. It hangs too low on typical modern bike frames. Although there are a few that you can move it up higher, to which that wouldn't be a problem. Alright, to the front again. So the Maguras have the switches in the handles. Another special thing about the Ultra is that it has a throttle, or can have a throttle. Now this is the primary reason that I did not buy a specialized Levo or a giant Full E or anything similar to that. I just have got to have my throttle. So sometimes I get tired. I don't want to just stop, so I can use the throttle to keep me going. Oh, another thing is that the battery hasn't arrived yet. They shipped them. I got 2 of them. They shipped them separately, so they should arrive tomorrow. So I like this battery mounting design because a majority of the cells are actually inside the down tube, so it won't stick out as much. There's a key lock. One thing to note about the seat tube is that it is a 30.4 millimeter. I just tried to jam a 30.9 millimeter seat tube in here and it would not go in. I was really hoping that it would fit, because then I could just take a dropper from, well, typically droppers aren't available on a 30.4 millimeter size. So what I think I'm going to do is take a sander and sand down the outside of a 30.9. I would only be removing a tiny, like hair-like amount of material from it. But I really need to put a dropper on this. So here we have the 11-speed Shimano XT shifter. These handles feel pretty good. This wide area really works well as a palm rest. So, I'm really glad it has a kickstand. I know some of you hardcore mountain bikers strongly dislike these, but I've been biking with a kickstand for a long time, and it hasn't caused me any issues. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'm going to weigh the bike pretty soon to see how much it weighs. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention was the head tube. Look how tall that is. That is really tall. Now, I don't mind that because I kind of prefer a more upright riding position. But most mountain bikes these days have a really short head tube, maybe about like that. I'll probably pull out my Specialized Enduro 29 to compare it, to make a comparison video later. I also have a Trek Hi-Fi Pro 29er. So yeah, as you can see, I'm really into 29ers, so this 27.5 mid-fat size is going to be interesting. My guess is that I'm going to end up preferring this wider tire size. Although 2.8 doesn't look that much wider than my 2.5 Maxxis shorties, but I might change them over to tubeless setup with 3-inch wide tires. So we got the full color display here, and I'll turn it on as soon as I get the batteries. Now, some comments I would like to make about the frame. This location here where the top tube connects to the seat tube here, it does get wider here, so that makes me a little more relieved about the connection. So it's not just a little tiny tube here connecting here, because a lot of bikes have a tube that goes straight here and then another one up here, or there'll be a gusset or like a reinforcement, like an extra piece down here welded to there to have a more secure connection. Same for the connection up here, down tube to head tube connection. A lot of manufacturers will have a gusset here, extra material, extra weld. But this looks like a nice wide connection with plenty of surface area, so I think we're going to be okay. The welds down here look good. A lot of area. Now the shock mount weld to the seat tube looks really small. I've seen on my other bike, a Fuji Thrill LT 2.0, it's welded down here all the way up here, but maybe that's overkill. Also, the chainstay connection to this here, I've seen on some bikes where it's a diagonal so that the welded area can be greater. But this looks okay. See, things like this, only time will tell. You just gotta ride it and see what happens. But all the parts look nice and thick. So that's my brief overview video. I just unboxed the bike today. Feel free to ask me any questions. Thanks for watching. And the bike weighs 57 pounds without the battery. That would be 25 or 26 kilograms.